Good morning, guys. You're watching the Mega-Transect. We're hiking all 2,650 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail while documenting the wildlife that we encounter. My name's Professor Michael McGran. I'm here with my wildlife videographer, Jacob Drueckhammer.
How's it going?
We are at about mile 95, somewhere in between Scissors Crossing and Warner Springs. So we've climbed out of the desert scrub, true actual desert. So we're getting a number of desert bird species on this section of the PCT. A number of herpetofauna, reptiles, and now we're climbing up into the chaparral and also getting chaparral species. So a really diverse section of the trail. Stick with us to the end of this video to encounter everything that we saw.
We were very fortunate to have a close friend of Jacob's family help us with our resupply in the town of Julian.
Thank you, Renee, so much.
You're welcome.
So generous of you to help us.
Yes.
Goodbye, Hazel. Friendly dog, friendliest dog on the planet. Wouldn't make a very good guard dog. This is one of the dry water haul sections. So we have a bit of a water haul, carrying some water. Packs are heavy. And we start in the San Felipe Hills, which is basically desert scrub habitat. I'm surrounded by cacti right now. Here is barrel cactus right here. Amazing plant. It actually swells as it stores water. We're still pretty early in the season. It's like April. So they're kind of swollen with water right now. This is barrel cactus. We also have cholla here. There's a couple of different species of cholla in California. I think there's actually more than one species that we're looking at right here. So we're in desert scrub, and although it looks sparsely vegetated, it's actually remarkably diverse in terms of the plant community. About half this section will be in the desert, the other half will be in chaparral. Some challenges that we face are some major water hauls. We have almost 5 liters of water in our pack right now, which is a lot of water to carry because we know we have about 13 to 14 miles before our next water cache that we'll encounter. Cactus wren is the quintessential desert bird. Their song is very iconic. You often hear it in a lot of Western films. Any type of show that's showing like the desert or out west somewhere, they'll bring in the cactus wren vocalization. It just kind of speaks the Wild West, or it speaks the desert, and it's often used in film, that vocalization, for that reason. Cactus wren will nest in cactus. Here we have cactus wren perched on an ocotillo, which is a very distinctive looking plant, very unique plant. And we saw a couple of cactus wrens coming into here.
I suspect that what we see here is a male and female pair. Unlike most birds, males and females look nearly identical. But one way to tell the difference is that it's the males that do most of the singing.
very unique looking bird. Our largest wren, you think of the size of most wrens, it's quite large as far as a wren is concerned. Okay, we're going to continue our trek through the San Felipe Hills. And here's this cholla right here. Beautiful flowers. We don't want to accidentally fall on that or sit on that. Whew. Why not, Jacob? That would be a big ouch. See if we can't make it to 14th today, where there is a water cache. We've been lugging about 4.5 liters of water. We're filming black-throated sparrow here. They prefer desert scrub habitat. They'll nest on the ground under the cover of a small shrub. Got a male here singing. Their song has a kind of a high phrase, a low phrase. And then if you listen closely, you can hear a little bit of bill clacking in their song. Not to be confused with black-chinned sparrow. Which is also possible in this area, but black-chinned tend to prefer denser shrublands, chaparral. So black-chinned sparrow and black-throated sparrow, they tend to overlap. So we're getting a good sampling of the desert birds on the PCT. We got cactus wren earlier. See what we find going forward. So we're climbing out of Scissors Crossing, contouring through San Felipe Hills. Always tends to be windy through here, whether it's hot, whether it's cool, it's just always windy. So rock wrens are widespread and common across a wide range of elevations and environments and climates in California and along the Pacific Crest Trail. You can get rock wrens fairly low in elevation, where we're at right now, probably 3,000 feet. Pretty much anywhere where you get rocky outcroppings where the bedrock is exposed to the atmosphere, you'll get rock wrens settling in, and they feed in the rock crevices and the boulders for invertebrates. Several rock wrens in this canyon here. At least 3 different territories in this canyon. We saw 3 different individuals interacting here. And again, rock wrens have this pump action behavior that's fairly distinctive for them. It's a display, perhaps to communicate to other individuals nearby, just species identification. Yeah, so we're working our way up to our campsite. There's a water cache up here where it will be welcome to have some water. Got a little bit of a leak in my platypus bottle right here. So yeah, I don't want that. See, can't lose water like that in the desert.
Especially because we're on a 14-mile stretch right now to water. There's nothing in between. So he's going to try to save most of the water he can by putting it in here. How much do you think you lost?
Just about half a liter. Not much.
Could be worse.
Another one.
That was right over our heads.
Yeah, we just had 2 jets fly real low over us. Like, the first one was an F-22 Raptor, and I think the second one was an F-35. And they flew real low, probably about 300-400 feet, kind of following the contours of the mountains. So that was exciting. Seemed to be doing some kind of training exercise.
Gotta lose some weight, Professor.
Hey guys, we're just taking a little break here under the shade of this California juniper. Sometimes the shade out here is meager, so you take advantage of what little shade there is. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling fine.
Feel good, dude? I feel good too.
That's good. Just kind of seeing like what tomorrow's gonna look like, because I know we have another carry tomorrow. It's not as big as today though.
And the water hole?
Yeah, I think it's might not be terrible.
So Jacob's filming a horned lizard. We saw it on the side of the trail. There's this ant mound. He's just feasting. He's having a great time. I've studied flat-tailed horned lizard down in the low desert. Flat-taileds feed almost exclusively on ants. I think that's the case for most horned lizards. And they rely on their cryptic qualities to just blend in with the substrate, with the environment. Sometimes they'll shuffle in the sand and cover themselves with a little bit of sand. But a lot of people want them for pets, but because they have such a narrow niche for food, they don't do well in captivity. They feed almost exclusively on ants. The camera's up. It's right there. See how he just blends in with that? His integument is perfect coloration for this type of rock, the colors on this rock. It's a pretty good size one. That's an adult. Pretty productive day.
I'd say so.
That awesome shot of the horned lizard feeding on an ant
Favorite
mound.
shot, yep.
That's fantastic.
That mound was crazy.
Nice work, Jacob.
Thanks.
Good morning. Beautiful morning. About a 10% chance of rain according to the weather report, but those clouds look fairly ominous. The birds in this spot are just singing like crazy. We're hearing a number of species here right by our campsite, both desert and chaparral species. Scott's oriole. Here is the female of this breeding pair responding vocally to the male's song. Good job, Jacob.
I can't say Oriole for save my life.
Orioles. Think of the baseball team, the Orioles.
Yeah, the Orioles. I don't know.
You don't
I
call
keep
it,
trying to say like Orleo or
Yeah.
something. So no.
You don't call the baseball team the Oreos, right? You
I'd
call them
rather call
Orioles.
them the Oreo. I can remember Oreo.
We're descending down into Warner Springs right now through this dense chaparral, and what's interesting is, or what I think is kind of beautiful, is all the green tops here on this slope. This is all the chamise and the red shank. The red shank is all the green, the light green. We're gonna try to take a snack break or a lunch break in here somewhere if we can find a nice spot. Oops. I'm fine. I'm okay. Are you happy to take a lunch break, Jacob? You can see this honeybee pollinating these purple flowers. They're in the Boraginaceae family, or the borage family. Taking a little snack break on this boulder here. I hear about half a dozen chaparral species singing. See what we can find here as we take our little lunch break. California thrasher. And we saw this pair of California thrasher come in. Some neat interactions here. They have a complex song, but it's really them mimicking a number of species in the community, and their fitness is determined by other males and females when they're attracting females. Not so much by the complexity, but just the repertoire, how many different songs they know. And California thrasher is a mimic. So obviously if it has survived longer to learn more songs, it has more stronger fitness, or a higher level of fitness, greater ability to survive and to pass on its genes to the next generation. Perched at the apex of this shrub, kind of in display, we saw two California thrashers. I believe one might have been a male, the other a female. We also got spotted towhee in here. With their buzzy trill, very distinctive of chaparral. Anybody who's spent any amount of time in chaparral will have heard a spotted towhee before. It kind of snuck up on us. We're at 100 miles. Look at that. 100 miles. I think I'm going to drink some water at 100 miles.
Some well-deserved water, huh? This is what 100 miles looks like. Guess what? 100 miles in, we're still in chaparral. There he goes. In his water.
Yep, and we will be in for chaparral for
500
a ways
more.
longer.
600 more.
Took a little bit of a spill back there. Stumbled on a rock, then stumbled on another rock. As I was stumbling, bent this trekking pole, fell into the brush on the side of the trail, and skinned my knee. So,
Just a small flesh wound.
yeah, it's fine. Just past the 100-mile mark. Only a few casualties. One bent trekking pole, a skinned knee, blisters on Jacob's feet. But so far, so good. After 100 miles, I'm happy.
I'm happy.
You're happy?
I am. 100 miles.
Nice to be in the shade as we drop down into the spring. I think it's called Barrel Spring. Getting some water here, much needed. It's going to take a little while. Can you see this? This little trickle. It's such a relief to be here at San Ysidro Creek. What a lovely campsite this is.
several days now on the chaparral to have a creekside campsite. I have no doubt that this creek draws in lots of wildlife, this riparian corridor, so let's see what we might find. This little riparian corridor where we're camped next to San Jacinto Creek draws in a number of bird species. Briefly observed lesser goldfinch on this willow branch drinking out of the creek. And then on this sycamore, looks like a California sycamore, beautiful tree, white-breasted nuthatch. A lot of the woodland birds are attracted to this habitat. Lovely campsite, lovely time of the day, and this twilight's starting to set in.
Burritos there are really good, that's what they say.
They're like homemade burritos?
Yeah. It says that
Where's
little
this at the
Warner Springs at the community center
At the
area.
community center? That
Yeah.
sounds awesome. Well, good job. I think we did a little over 14 miles
We
today.
hit 100 miles though, that's a good thing.
Got over 100 miles.
Yeah?
Nice job. What did you think about wildlife
Oh, we
today?
don't do that yet. Wait to do it.
Yeah,
I
time
thought you
to
were
just
going
try
for
it.
that. You went, why do you go like
Good
this?
job. Good job. I was kind of faking you out there.
All right,
Ready?
restart.
Good. Okay, good job, Jacob.
Thanks.
Excellent job wildlife filming.
Okay,
let's just do it.
cut.
Please subscribe and stay tuned as we continue this natural history series across all 2,650 miles of the Pacific Crest Trail.